First up, we're going to see Brett Hundley, who supplants Aaron Rodgers. It is a very short kick, fielded on the run by Jeff Janis at the 15-yard line. And he'll bring it back out to the 31 as we take a look at the Packer offense. From the 30-yard line, they start out of the shotgun with 5 receivers. And Hundley fires to the outside, and that's caught by Randall Cobb for a 7-yard gain. Flanking Hundley in the backfield. And they give it to him. And he picks up a first down as he takes it up to the 44-yard line. Daniil Hunter makes the stop, first down.
Xavier Rhodes, FSU.
And on first down, a handoff here goes to Jamal Williams. You saw Kendricks and Barr announcing UCLA as their school, which meant they were teammates with Hundley in Westwood. From the 43-yard line. And again, it's Williams. Short gain, rookie out of BYU, 4th-round pick. On 3rd down and 6. 5-man rush. Hundley throws and adjusting, but unable to come up with it is Michael Clark, tight end. Covered by Trey Waynes, and Green Bay will punt. Justin Vogel, rookie punter, having a very good year. 42 and change is his net, but not a very good punt here as it skids out of bounds up near the 29-yard line. They all pitch in.
Had to turn them away.
Yeah. This is Latavius Murray for a gain of 3 up to the 33-yard line. 2nd down and 7 at the 33-yard line. Keenan tosses it over the middle. That'll be a first down. Stephon Diggs spinning all the way out to the 50-yard line. First down at midfield.
He can duck under. He scrambles. He's so good outside the pocket. Really made a huge difference.
Stacks a couple of receivers to the left and hands the ball off to Latavius Murray. Gain of 1. Let's take a look at the Viking offense in 2017. 2nd down and 9. And they give it to McKinnon. And he'll take it to the 42-yard line. So they've got Murray and McKinnon both coming out of the backfield. Blitz. Keenan hangs in there and converts. And that is Jarius Wright picking up a first down. And you saw Aaron Rodgers under the hood on the sideline as they give it to Murray to the 32-yard line. Here are the Green Bay defensive starters. Injury ravaged secondary. Had a lot of issues back there. 2nd down and 8. Take the reverse, and then that's covered well as he tried to get it to McKinnon, and Dean Lowry wasn't fooled at all. It'll be 3rd down and 8. McKinnon in the game. 5 receivers set. And on 3rd and 8, Keenan to the outside, and it's flicked away. Intended for Thielen, but batted away by Devon House, and it's 4th down. So very little factor there as Forbath tries to give Minnesota the lead, and he does. Folks want to be home Christmas Eve.
There you go.
And an early Merry Christmas to everybody. Another short kick here as Trevor Davis will run this one back to about the 28-yard line, where he's tackled by Stephen Weatherly. From the 28-yard line. Vikings showed blitz and back off. Hundley keeps it and gets taken down by Harrison Smith. Steady, consistent throughout his career. 2nd down and 12. Off the fake. Tom makes the catch, and there you go, Mr. Smith, and we go to Michelle. 3rd down and 12 from the 25-yard line. And it's an inside draw. And Williams will take it only up to the 31-yard line, and that will bring in the punt group.
And that time it was the other safety, Andrew Sendejo, came up and made that tackle.
Over the kick. One of the top run back men for years. Sherrills backs up. Marcus Sherrills collects at the 18. And about a 9-yard run back out to the 27-yard line. He starts here from the 28-yard line. Off the fake, out of the pocket, and he just throws it away. And Chris, we were talking to him last night, and
he has missed some throws down the field. Not the throws themselves, but just seeing open receivers down the field.
2nd and 10, doesn't miss this one. For an 8-yard gain, Stephon Diggs. He's out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Josh Jones makes the stop. 3rd and 2. And Keenum gets enveloped and sacked. Ryan Quigley is the punter. Trevor Davis back to receiver. Look out, almost blocked. Good kick, fielded at the 24. Davis trying to get around the corner.
That part of the field.
Down. Yeah, you can see that. Absolutely. Lost his footing from the 28-yard line. Hunley from the pocket, throws short and incomplete. Intended for Jordy Nelson, a guy he's had a hard time connecting with since he took over.
And the minute he came in the game, the first matchup between these two, it started again.
2nd and 10 from the 28-yard line. Give it to Aaron Jones, rookie running back. Well, public enemy number 1, at least for this weekend, would be Barr.
A lot of people in Green Bay disagree, but I didn't see anything with that yet that made me question it at all.
I didn't think it was illegal as Jordy Nelson makes the catch here, but he needed 5 and got 2, and it's 4th down. Vogel to punt for the 3rd time in the first 12 minutes of the game. Marcus Sherrills sets up at his own 20-yard line, and it's a high and short kick. Sherrills will let it bounce, and it skids out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Discussion now about going to the ground to complete the catch is crazy.
Here's Murray, the former Oakland Raider, out to the 40-yard line. We talked at the top about the fact they lost their opening day starting running back. So Easton to the bench. Searles comes in at left guard. Then it's 2nd down and 2 from the 20-yard line. Murray again. And that will move the sticks as he takes it out to the 44-yard line.
Early on was just okay, but much sharper here than the last month.
Go without a huddle. Give it to Murray again. Swings to the outside. Into Packer territory and a 1st down before Clinton Dix forces him out after he gains 12.
Second level and being able to make those reach blocks.
Again, no huddle. Off play action. Keenum's going to go deep downfield. He has Diggs there, and the pass is underthrown and incomplete, but a flag comes in.
Do is turn around and look for the
Pass
ball.
interference. Number 28, defense, automatic, 1st down.
39-yard penalty. 1st and goal. To the 3-yard line goes Latavius Murray. It'll be 2nd down and goal with 1.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. 2nd and goal. Off play action. Keenum to the back of the end zone. Diggs comes down with it. Touchdown. Of course, everything gets checked out, all scoring plays. Quigley to hold it. And Forbath, who's missed 5 extra points this season, bangs that one through.
He was there when I first started at NBC. I didn't even know which end of the telestrator to draw on, so he was something special, that guy.
Started as a teacher.
Oh, and I'm sure for all these guys, it's a little adjustment out here tonight.
Running back is Aaron Jones. Gains 2. He's a rookie out of Texas El Paso. Picked in the 5th round.
Defense.
2nd and 8. Going to draw. Nice gain here for Aaron Jones up to the 30-yard line. Lambeau Field in historic Green Bay. 3rd and 2 as the 2nd quarter begins with a 1st down on a reception by Randall Cobb from the 40-yard line.
Green 18, green 10.
Williams, nothing. Wrestled back, line of scrimmage. Eric Kendricks. So 2nd down and 10 from the 40-yard line. Going 5 wide. 4-man rush to the outside goes the pass, and it's about a 5-yard gain before Cobb gets manhandled by Terrence Newman. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Jamal Williams, who's probably their best pass protecting running back, so maybe hold it just a bit here, try and work it down the field.
It's Cobb going in motion. Swings it out to Cobb. Oh, and he gets buried at the 38-yard line. Mackenzie Alexander read that one perfectly. Packers limited to 45 yards on 17 plays. Vogel's kick, fair catch called for, made it to 21 by Marcus Sherrill. And he was named to the Pro Bowl earlier this week. Still looking for his first catch tonight, though, as Jerick McKinnon gets taken down at the line of scrimmage. So he was right at home, got an opportunity, caught the eye of Rick Spielman and company as McKinnon takes it up to the 25-yard line. And here he is. Set 3 receivers off to the left side. Keenum looking over the middle and almost has that one picked off. Intended for Stephon Diggs, and it's Clinton Dix breaking it up, and it's 4th down. Ryan Quigley for his second punt of the game. Short kick. Bounces at the 41 and dies at the 38.
Then he's out there playing against his old buddies. Played with him at UCLA.
Short gain here as the fullback Aaron Ripkowski taken down by Kendricks at 2nd down and 6. 2nd and 6. Off the fake, dropped. Jordy Nelson. Very interesting offseason coming up in Dairyland. 3rd down and 6. Hunley throws, and that's caught, but short of the first down. Lance Kendricks. Vogel averaging 37 yards per boot on his 4 thus far. Fielded at the 12, fair caught there by Sherrill. Clear skies. The temperature right now is 7. Keenum starts this drive, throwing to the outside, and it is Diggs with a flag down.
Pass interference, number 28, defense. The pass was caught. The penalty will be declined. 1st down.
So you talk about the success of Case Keenum has a lot to do with the way those guys fight for the football.
Now they give it to Diggs on a running play on the end around.
Just letting them know, hey, you're my guys. You know, they got beat up pretty good a season ago, and so he's been spending his time with them. 2nd
and 7. The pass on the outside, trying to get away is Michael Floyd. He can't. Josh Jones with the tackle. We go to Michelle. We started the game by telling you about the 5 key guys who were already out for Green Bay. 3rd and 7. Throws, look out, catches made by McKinnon, who gets caught in a vice, but picks up a 1st down up at the 43-yard line. His 8th carry. Then about 3 yards up to the 46-yard line.
I think so far the Vikings pretty well represented with their bare arms.
Whistle before the snap here.
Defense, 12 players on the field in formation. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Murray. And he cannot get out of the backfield as Dean Lowry is there to make the tackle. It'll make it 3rd down and 1. 3rd and 1. Keenum rolling out. He's going to keep it, but he's going to lose yardage back at the 47-yard line. Connor Fackrell, the outside linebacker. Ryan Quigley is into punt. His 3rd and the 8th total punt in the game. Fair catch called for and made by Trevor Davis up at about the 23-yard line.
That way.
That we come to our own Winter Olympics, where the temperature is 7 from the 23-yard line. Only to the outside. That's caught by Jordy Nelson for a small gain. Xavier Rhodes, who will be going to the Pro Bowl, makes the stop.
Green 18, green 10.
2nd and 6. Hunley slipping out of the pocket, running for the 1st down. And plenty more. And out of bounds at the Minnesota 49-yard line. Fired up.
And he's going to have to create some offense on his own to jumpstart this offense because it's been going nowhere fast.
His season-long run, 24 yards. He's averaging over 7 yards per tote. Now you've got a 9-yard run here by Jamal Williams to follow that up to set up a 2nd down and 1 as Green Bay tries to get it going.
And they go right to the line of scrimmage, trying to take advantage, and they, oh man, they got away with one there.
They did. And then at the 15-yard line, Jordy Nelson is able to haul it in.
Defense, 12 players. The player trying to get off the field did not make it before the snap. That penalty's declined. 1st down. Minnesota is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass. We'll review the play. After review, the ball was out of the control of the receiver when it hit the ground. It is an incomplete pass. Please set the game clock to 3:29. 5-yard defense, 12 players will be administered, and that yardage results in a 1st down.
Green 18, green 10.
Hunter from the pocket. That's caught in the 30-yard line. And fighting for extra yardage, Lance Kendricks. Stop him at about the 27. Under 3 remaining in the half. On 2nd and 2. Fire to the outside, caught. Jordy Nelson, and that's a 1st down, and he is hurting. There's no question about that. On a 1st down from the 22-yard line.
Green 18, green 10.
Keep it on the ground.
Yeah.
Williams.
You could see Jordy when he was going across the formation, basically not moving that left arm.
So the sign of Anthony Barr getting called for Christmas. Of course, he's the guy who knocked Aaron Rodgers out for 2 months. 2nd down and 6. Hundley slipping away, gets taken down at the 15-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 3. Everson Griffin makes the tackle. Only 8 1st downs allowed in the last 44 attempts. And that play clock is all the way down. They just do get it off, and the pass is intercepted by Smith at the 5-yard line. Picking up some blocking as well. And brings it back out to the 23-yard line. Minnesota with 2 timeouts from the 22. Keenum fires to the outside. That's caught. That's the first catch of the night for Rudolph. That's
2 of us. Drag race.
2nd and 4. Over the middle. And Thielen makes the grab, but he is stopped a little bit short of the 1st down. Clock down to 34, 33. And a floater to the outside floats over the head of Laquan Treadwell, the #1 pick in last year's draft. Question about what down it was.
We did not move the chains on the field. We determined that the previous play was short. It was 3rd down. The next play is 4th. The pass was incomplete. It is 4th down now.
Right. Every game has to have a little wackiness, right?
Usually from us.
Always from us. Here's Quigley's punt. Caught at the 22. Trevor Davis is out of bounds there with 16 seconds. Jeff Heath had a couple of extra points for Dallas earlier in the season when Dan Bailey got hurt. Hundley, and that's incomplete. Intended for Geronimo Allison, and it's 2nd down. No Don Hudson. Tough all the way around. 2nd down and 10. Spinning away. Hundley. The half will be over when that pass falls incomplete.
This dog ain't going anywhere. What am I doing?
The kid from Florida.
1st year.
Right. At the goal line, Marcus Sherrills. He brings it back out to the 23, and we go to the field, and Michelle. They're minus Adams as well. Playing with a very short deck tonight. Minnesota starts with a 2-yard gain on the ground by Latavius Murray up to the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
You know, Al, that's not a fluky offense. That's an offense that knows how to get it done.
And an offense that's in the top 10 in all 4 of those categories we just showed you. Meanwhile, the pass is perfect to the sideline to Thielen. And Adam Thielen with a big gain and a 1st down for Minnesota. That's a gain of 21.
Some of those really athletic pass rushers look a little stuck tonight.
Vikings without a huddle from the 46-yard line. You got a flag here. Deep downfield. And it's Diggs who cannot hold on to it at the 10-yard line. Here's Carl
Offside,
Jefferson.
number 55, defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
So that was a free play. Ahmad Brooks, the former 49er, was the guy who jumped.
Give those guys a chance. And we're not even talking about Kyle Rudolph, who's really good at playing above the rim, too.
From the 49. Murray. I was thinking about, Keenan, we were telling you in the first half about where he's been.
But for, obviously Philadelphia paying attention, their magic number is 1. So if the Vikings were to lose, they'd have the number 1 seed.
Sure. Philadelphia controls its own fate in that regard as play is stopped at the 47-yard line. 3rd and a deuce from the 47. Pressure put on, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Jarius Wright. Broken up by Jermaine Whitehead, and it's 4th down. Meanwhile, David Morgan is the backup snapper now. You saw McDermott get hurt in the 1st half, so the backup snapper, and the kick is fielded at the 15-yard line. Fair caught there by Trevor Davis. What Minnesota can do is guarantee a bye by winning 2 games, and they lead here 10-0 and have Chicago next week at home as Jamal Williams picks up a couple. 2nd down and 8.
And so far tonight, Harrison Smith has been a monster.
2nd and 8. And nice run here for Williams. Ty Montgomery was their number 1 running back, but he's on injured reserve. Just another of the injured Packers from the 26-yard line. Knock him down at the line of scrimmage.
Green 18! Green 18!
2-shooter. 7 out. On 2nd and 9, here's Hundley to the outside. He goes, and his 2nd real good run of the night. Stopped by Smith up at the 49-yard line. 49 passing yards, 47 rushing yards for the Green Bay QB. And now deep downfield he goes and cannot make the connection there with Trevor Davis. 2nd down.
Green 18! Green 10!
Play action on 2nd and 10. Now they go deep again down the sideline, and laying out for it is Randall Cobb, but he can't come up with it. Smith is back there covering on the play. It's 3rd down and 10. And 3rd down and 10. Play clock at 1. Good protection that time, and then it's caught at the 39-yard line. He goes to Jeff Janis for the completion. So they convert on 3rd and long. Coming in the 15th game. Williams to the 36-yard line. Number 89. Split wide to the left. Goes in that direction, intended for Cobb. That's incomplete. Pressure put on by Anthony Barnes. It's 3rd down and 7 for the Packers. Not quite the same with Rodgers in week 6. 3rd and 7. Hundley fires, and off the fingertips and incomplete of Lance Kendricks. And so it is 4th and 7. Pass up a chance at a 54-yard field goal. Very tough, obviously, on a night like tonight, and go for it. And on 4th down and 7, Hundley tries to keep it alive by going deep downfield where nobody is there. Halfway through the 3rd quarter, Minnesota taking over on downs. Start from the 36. Keener, play action. Deep downfield and incomplete, intended for Laquan Treadwell. Good coverage that time by Lindsey Pipkins. Second down.
I think it's really been his mental gymnastics and ability to read defenses that has made such a difference for this team.
Second and 10, and Murray busts his way to midfield and a first down. They draft Jared Goff #1, but don't give him the starting job. They give it to Keenum, and he wins 3 of his first 4 games. Then by midseason, it was time to make the change. Had a terrible, what looked to be possibly career-ending injury in training camp a year ago, August. Now Keenum deep down the sideline and too far. Intended for Thielen. Had him, couldn't hit him. 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8 here, and
delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
3rd and 13 now.
Well, who knows how it's going to play out?
I mean, it's been a crazy turn of events. 3rd and 13. And Keenum's going to take off, maybe. And then he's going to throw it. And that's caught. And trying to get a first down. And getting it is David Morgan, who gets to the 29-yard line. Go figure. He's going to run with it. Then he backs up. Then he hits Morgan. And Morgan breaks a couple of tackles and picks up a first down. And before they can even have a chance to look at it again, it's McKinnon to the 28.
The challenge flag was not recognized prior to the ball being snapped. 12 players on the field, defense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
From the 25. Keenum to the outside, and that is hauled in by Murray. Gain of 6. We go to Michelle from the 19-yard line. A first down. Remember how this all played out. Bridgewater was going to be the guy for the future.
Yeah, I mean, this was a team that was so good at the start, 5-0 last year, and it fell apart from there.
2nd and 9, and Diggs makes the catch, and that will move the change instead of a first down and goal. 3.5 left in the 3rd, a 1st and goal from the 7th. Murray to the 6-yard line he goes. Got half the starting lineup under the hood. Murray to the 2-yard line. Keenum on a 3rd and goal. To Murray. Good tackle. Number 41, that's Lindsey Pipkins coming up from the corner to make it 4th down. Again, David Morgan now is the snapper, the backup snapper. And getting it down is the holder, Quigley. Nice job there. Morgan's snap a little high. Open this week. So it's 13-0. Kickoff is fielded at the 1. Trevor Davis. And he gets tripped up at the 34. The records go all the way back to the Ice Age. Hundley. That's caught by Geronimo, dropped by Geronimo Allison, so it'll be 2nd down. Of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Meanwhile, the traffic on the interstate is flowing very, very nicely right now. Here's your full report. 3rd down and 9. Hundley, the fake, going to take off. He's had 2 big runs tonight of 24 and 22, but not here. Not here, not now. Trey Waynes stops him. 13-0, and we'll start with a Green Bay punt. 6th of the night from Vogel, who's not having a very good night, even though he's having a pretty good season. And it's 4 degrees at the moment. Murray up to the 28-yard line. 2nd and 8 from the 29. Keenum, and they'll just slip out of bounds over on the Minnesota bench, and it'll be 3rd down. Look out. Keenum gets it away, and the pass is incomplete. Dream season for him. Quigley's punt. Collected at the 35 by Trevor Davis. Down he goes at the 48-yard line with 13.5 to go. Green Bay now begins this drive from the 47-yard line with 13.5 to play. And Jamal Williams takes the ball across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Huntley throws, and that's caught. That's a first down. That's Michael Clark. Big wide out at 6'6", rookie out of Marshall, making the catch.
Green 18, green 10.
Four-man pressure. Good protection. Huntley throws, and making the catch is Clark again.
Green 18, green 10.
Williams. Gain of 6.
Safety comes down one way, you run the other. Of course, Mike Zimmer, by that point, rotated the defense the other way. And there goes Smith back.
2nd and 4. Running into a wall that time is Williams. So that's going to make it 3rd down and 4.
Green 18, green 10.
Huntley over the middle, and it's dropped. Would have been a 1st and goal at worst. That's Lance Kendricks to make it 4th down. So it's a 13-point game. Back into the slot. Good protection to the end zone and incomplete. Tried to get it to Clark. He was covered there by Xavier Rhodes. Minnesota with the ball at the 14-yard line. McKinnon
There he goes.
springs to the outside. And a 1st down.
120, 110.
1st down from the 31. Keenan fires, and that's dropped. Incomplete. Intended for Diggs. Had position on Pipkins. Couldn't hold it in. 2nd down and 10. On the ground. Nice run again by McKinnon. Taking it up close to a 1st down. Spotting it at the 41-yard line. And it should be the 1st down. So we'll see if Carl Cheffers brings out the index card here. And chewing up the clock as well. McKinnon again. You know, one thing that Minnesota has going, Chris, is the fact that last week they gave up their first points of the game to Cincinnati with 6:22 remaining.
Maybe some of his defensive players brought it up to him this week.
Could be. 2nd and 7. This game is closer than that game was, too. David Morgan makes the catch here. 3rd down and 4. Keenan gets it away, and that's incomplete. Hung in the pocket again. Took a hit from Reggie Gilbert. Diggs was the intended receiver.
I think it was a Green Bay game, like 2nd game of the year when he came in and
It was.
played so well and just got hit after every throw.
Low snap. Quigley gets it away. Fair catch is called for. Not sure why. 4 o'clock on Christmas Day. Green Bay now from the 5. Catch is made by Michael Clark, making his NFL debut tonight. And you're looking at the other one right now on a 2nd down and 3. Deep downfield. Intended for Cobb. It'll be 3rd down and 3. 3rd and 3 from the 12-yard line. And they convert here on a short pass up to the 16. Caught by Kendricks. Under 6 minutes now to play.
Well, you take for granted coming to this ballpark and watching him play, don't you? Just how good and how much talent that guy has.
Well, excess of riches, the last 2 quarterbacks over almost a quarter century now. That pass is incomplete here. 2nd and 10. That's caught. Trying to get away is Allison, and he was contacted a little shy of the 1st down. Gain of 9. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Green 18, green 10.
3rd and 1. It's enough for a 1st down here for Jamal Williams.
He had a displaced fracture, he told me. He said he'll have another scan after the season. and he plans on being able to work out fully in about a month, Al.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Had that surgery done by Neil Elitrosh out in Los Angeles, and had him well enough to play last week. The pass is incomplete.
Green 18, green 10.
And that pass is incomplete. Dumped it off underneath, intended for Williams.
Can you imagine the scene if this team somehow, some way gets to have 3 straight playoff games, including the Super Bowl, in their own building?
Unbelievable. Hundley. And that pass is incomplete. Packers 0 for 2 on 4th down tonight. Hundley protected well. Deep downfield. Little hand fighting. No flag. Incomplete. Change.
After the play was over,
worse the first two.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, Green Bay. That penalty was enforced half the distance to the goal. First down, Minnesota.
Minnesota has the ball at the 14-yard line. Murray gets stood up right at the line of scrimmage. He went up to buy groceries, bought him a new car.
Yeah, whatever.
Sent him some caviar. Second down and 9 from the 14. Murray to the 9-yard line.
And that's exactly what happened. More than enough time.
3rd and 5. Toss goes to McKinnon. And he'll get taken down at the 9-yard line. So once again, the backup snapper. Ball is placed down. And Forbath's kick is good to make it 16-0. Guy who was a longtime starter, had the 1 year 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and then he's on the bench. Then he got Wentz getting hurt. Foles throws 4 touchdown passes last week. It's Fackrell running it back. Hundley flushed out again. And just fires it into the bench.
You don't see them blowing coverages and leaving guys running free down the middle of the defense.
Hundley on a 2nd and 10. And that pass is incomplete.
Holding, number 69, offense. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
But he got their attention, and they were good there, and they've been even better here.
2nd and 20, and that's caught. Gain of 18. Lance Kendricks, they'll hustle up to the line of scrimmage.
After he compliments him, he said, you know, you're looking fat on TV.
Needs to work out. 3rd and 1. Deep downfield, and that's incomplete. Intended for Michael Clark, covered by Mackenzie Alexander. So on 4th and 1, Hundley tries to keep it alive and has that picked at the 48-yard line by Smith.
For about 8 or 9 days from now. That was a great shot of Mike Zimmer over hugging Terrence Newman, who's 39 years old now.
Right. Trying to become the first team to play in a Super Bowl in their home stadium. February 4th will be Super Bowl 52 right here on NBC at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis.